Peace, 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 peace. What it is, what it do. This is Pastor Ben back up in you on a Wednesday night with our Wednesday wisdom. And we got a great show for you this evening. I'm getting everything straight. Welcome to everybody on Facebook, on Instagram, and join us on YouTube. We're going to have a great discussion tonight. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship and wherever the conversation leads us. But we've got a good brother on that's joining us, um, and I think brother Will Mackey McKee will be in the building as well to join us in this conversation and give us some guidance. Like I say, this is Wednesday Wisdom, so we want to get from this brother his wisdom and stuff and his ideas that can help guide us to help keep building our institutions and community uh, through entrepreneurship. So, without further ado, I want to introduce Mr. Dana Merck of Little Sam's Liquidation and Wholesale. And I know we have a store here in the area in High Point, but I know you've got another store.
Yeah, and we have another one up in Detroit, Michigan, and
All right.
we also have a warehouse down in Georgia.
Also a warehouse in Georgia. So the brother's doing it big, and look, having that warehouse is key where you can store all that stuff. We know a lot of people struggle with keeping their product and coordinating and shipping it with what they say logistics and stuff because they need that warehouse space and stuff to do it. So before we get started, Mr. Merck, just want to say greetings to you, brother, and thank you for joining us this evening. Truly a blessing, and we thank you. And I apologize. I know we were trying to do it 8. Some things came up, some family stuff. So, running them youngins. But we're going to get in. We're going to get in and get started. And let me bring on Brother Mac McKee, who's going to join us a little bit in this discussion. What's going on, Mackie McKee? What it do? What it do?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
Great. How you doing,
Welcome to doing better now that I'm here with you, my brother. Thank you for coming on. I echo everything that Ben said, and I can't wait to get to hear your wisdom as well.
I'm excited. It's a long time coming. Brother Mackie McKee is always talking about Brother Merck. I said, get this brother's wisdom right here. But what I am going to do, if it's all right with you, Brother Merck, I'm going to put in the chat the website, littlesams.com.
Okay.
So everybody can link that up, and then we're gonna get it started like this. We're gonna get information running. If people want to visit the store, 1209 Greensboro Road, High Point, North Carolina, 27260. You can check out the website. We got it right there. So, Brother Bert, let's go ahead and get it started. Just give us a little bit about you, your background, and how this vision with Little Sam's Liquidation and Wholesale came about.
Just a little bit about my background. Born and raised Detroit, Michigan. Came to North Carolina in 1997 to go to school at Livingstone College. But the background started with my grandfather and my mother and my father. As a child, they always taught us to be independent and to have our own. And one of the things my father used to say that any man that got to depend on a check to feed his family ain't a man. And you have to find a way to go get it and to make it happen. And that decision is on you and yours alone. So just with a background on that, my father was an entrepreneur. My grandfather was a preacher of the AME Zion Church, Lomax AME Zion Church in Detroit. And they was over, and he was on the Booker T. Washington Association and other Black organizations to fund Black businesses in Detroit. So as a church community back then, they used to raise money to start business ventures and get businesses started. My mom, she did businesses out of the house growing up, from cooking to owning her own restaurant to doing daycare in the household. Me myself, I started my first job on the paper route at 6 years old was when it began for me, and I began to make my own money then, and I've been making my own money for 40, 50 years now. And that's just the background, a backdrop, uh, which led me into Little Sam's was one of the things that my father had taught me early on about buying low and selling high. That's the gateway to entrepreneurship is the ability to do that. Anything you got your services, uh, buy low, sell high, goods, products, buy low, sell high. You're selling your services, you're really selling yourself, so you place the value on that because you are the resource by being that service. And just for me, I just picked it up with Little Sam's. I couldn't miss. I ran into a hookup where I can be able to get truckloads and tractor trailer loads full of merchandise. And I found out what they were selling for on the regular market. It was just a no-brainer to me. I had worked and saved my money for a long time. I always save money. That's paramount to entrepreneurship. And I just had the money to take advantage of an opportunity, and I jumped on it. And from that opportunity, I've opened up 2 stores and a warehouse, and we got on mark to open up about 2 or 3 more stores before September. And I'm trying to create opportunities, not just for myself, but for folk that look like me. That's what the purpose of this store is about: creating opportunity and bridgeways and gateways for people that look like us, and so we can fish for ourselves instead of depending on other people to give us a fish.
I feel you on that. And let me talk about this too, because I'm gonna put on the black radical hat right now, real quick. Just to mention something you brought up comparative because
I settle for
you,
that too. Let's get it.
hey, hey,
Let's get it. We gonna
you
get it.
pull
Let's
out
get
off the shelf. I hear you. I hear you. So let me
it.
pull from this because a lot of times there's that struggle between capitalism versus, I would say, collective economics, like for our community, right? And you mentioned how the church and they were doing things to help people start businesses. Is there a balance? And I know I'm jumping deep too early. Don't slow me down if I need to. But where is that balance? Because you mentioned building for people like us and our community, and a lot of radicals be like the capitalistic onslaught is kind of what is detrimental. It's a struggle because we know sometimes, well, most times a group has to, or they say it builds on exploitation of certain groups.
Right.
But is there a balance between that within doing collaborative or collective economics?
Uh, uh, there's no balance at all. I mean, it's all doing for self, doing for the self of our own community.
Okay.
Collectively as our own community. So what I want for myself, I want for my brother. That's the
Okay.
balance. The that's just the balance of it in a nutshell. I mean, if everything that we do is economics, from put the food in our refrigerators at home to putting gas in your car to paying your light bill to paying your rent to paying your mortgage. That's all economics. But you had to take those economics and let those economics begin to work for you. And I think that sometimes we miss the mark because we base the economic system based on what we see on the media as far as corporate greed and things like that. There's level to these things. We always want to aspire to have a large thing, but 85% of businesses are small businesses. They're small businesses like myself that's just trying to just do the right thing to feed your family, go along. So that sometimes that message gets mixed up with the corporate greed and the 1% of the billionaires. But just on a grassroots level, I think that all business is collaborative economics because they come back in the community. Those dollars come from the people in the community that goes back to the community. Our model that we set up, we set our store up in High Point in the community, right on the gateway to the 5 Points community.
5
It's because,
points. Shout out to 5 points.
Thank you, sir. It's because we set that up because we wanted to bring quality products and services at a cheap cost to people that really wouldn't have access to those type of communities at those prices. But at the same time, being able to create entrepreneurial activities for anybody that want to learn the business, get involved in the business, or invest in the business. So that was the reason for setting it right there. It has its challenges, of course. I'm quite sure we talk what those challenges are. It has its challenges, but the purpose of this black business is to sit on the black community. Not to say that I'm not looking for white neighborhoods to set businesses up in right now. I'll be a fool to say if I think my business is going to thrive on black dollars alone. If it was on black dollars alone, we'd be shut down last year, right when we got started. So I think that just the basis of a small business itself is the the poster child or the masterpiece for what collaborative economics look like when you're talking about small businesses in the community.
Okay. And before I'm gonna let Brother Mackie jump in, but let me just ask one more thing for those that may not know. Can you explain what Little Sam's Liquidation and Wholesale is and what type of products for those? We're gonna get them to the store and the website, but just kind of lay that out for me briefly.
Okay, it's a liquidation retail store, and we sell everything from toilet paper to furniture. We have generators, air conditioners, anything you just about guess that you would utilize in your house from appliances. We have lawnmowers, lawn equipment, tools, anything you can just about think about. That's we have refrigerators, all kind of stuff. You know, anything you can think about that you need to move in the house or you move it, we carry it. If you're in an emergency situation, we carry it. And if and we can get our hands on anything. If you're looking for it, we can get it without a problem at all. And it'll be of a and the you know our model is low cost to the customer. You know, our number one goal is customer satisfaction. So it's low cost or low cost customer.
Man,
No
that's
doubt, no
awesome,
doubt.
brother.
Go ahead and jump in, Brother Mackie. I know you've been patiently waiting
Yeah,
in there.
yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm gonna go from the practical to a little data. Practically, I shop there. Matter of fact, I'm coming back this weekend, and the products are awesome. Like the owner just said, Mr. Merck just said, toilet paper to appliances. It's beautiful, and I'm going to be purchasing anyway. Why not purchase high quality products from black owned business? And I just love it. So thank you for doing what you're doing. I know you from higher education. For those that don't know, this man can uh, run a college, run a city. He can do all of that, but he chose to go into entrepreneurship, and I applaud him for that for a lot of reasons. A couple statistics that you already know, Mr. Merck, but for our listeners that may not know exactly where everything is with minority-owned businesses, uh, blacks or African Americans own about 3.3% of businesses in America. We make up about 12.3 or so percent of the U.S. population. So you see a big difference in what our number is in the percentage of this country, and we only own 3.3% of the businesses. And then you go up from there. Latino companies own about 7.9%. Asian is about 10.9%. So we applaud what you're doing, and you're doing the same thing that Ben decided to do when he started this show. What made you? Was there a moment? And you've always been in business in some form. What was that moment where you said, "No, this is what I've got to put my whole self into"? Was there a moment?
Yeah. It was a moment about, as you know, I'll share a personal spot in my life. It was about a moment. It was a moment about 3 years ago when my son had got murdered, and I was working doing a higher education thing. And the moment came, is some other challenges happened, and I was like, I always had goals to set up business centers, entrepreneur centers, and just enrichment centers in our community for our people. And I wanted to finance it out of my own pocket. And I just realized that on the current road that I was on, there was no way I would get there that fast in order to get there with the time that I had and just with the things that's happened in time. And I had just realized that during the passing of my son that you think you got time and you really don't have time. And you should take advantage of those things with the time that you do have. So with that time that I do have, I knew I have the business IQ and the experience and the exposure to do something that may start out small, but I know I have the ability to turn it real big, and I know how to turn dollars pretty fast. And the whole purpose of this for me is to give back. I don't want to do anything but make a lot of money just to give it all back, and I want to give it all back to my people. So it's so I've had just about any materialistic thing that you could possibly think of. There's nothing that I really crave, want, or desire. The only thing I just want to do is to give back, and I felt that this was the greatest way for me to build it up fast and be able to give it away. So I hope I answered your question, but that's what made my transition happen. The passing of my son made it happen. And then I could just no longer play the game no more. I just couldn't play that game no more. And I didn't have it in me to play the game anymore. And I still love the field of higher education. I was on the fast track to be a university president, but I could just not be politically correct anymore. And I just say I could be my own man, my own boss, and finance my own war. And I don't have to worry. I can say what I want to say. I don't care. There's no holds bars on me. I'm my own man. I make my own dollars. Nobody controls me, and I do things my way.
Well, yeah, I want to applaud you on that again, and we're not gonna hold you all night, but did want to shout out Livingstone College, your great alma
Blue
mater
Bears.
there, and I know that Blue Bears in the house. They're very proud of you and what you're doing. And I do show and tell. When now I write and I promote this show for Ben, but when he has me on here, sometimes I do show and tell. And I'm not just talking. I went in to Little Sam's for just to see what my second time in there. Got some paper towels, some dish detergent, and I said I need a juicer.
Yeah.
And it has served me well, saved my life. And go to High Point, North Carolina. Go patronize Little Sam. It's a great store. And those folks in the D, I know you're going to Little Sam's up there in Detroit. Let me end my line of questioning being by asking you this one question. What would you say the number one quality? If I'm watching this show tonight, I'm dreading going to work tomorrow. I got a hot idea that we get a lot of amens on that. I got a hot idea that people are already, whenever I do this, people want to buy it, want me to make it, want me to give them one. What's the number one quality that you would say that somebody needs to have to launch and go into business for themselves? What from your experience?
My experience is a fire on the inside to do it.
A fire. Not the you didn't say resource.
Fire. Once you got the fire,
the ultimate resource.
You'll be all right with the fire. Just don't let your fire dim. It's I've had my challenges. We've had a lot. Probably this year, we probably dumped about $250,000 of our own cash into it without a return. But you got, and this is, sales will be slow or whatever, but you just gotta have a fire. You know what I'm saying? That vision to be able to help people in my community and to give back and to save black colleges and help the brown kids. That's the fire for me. So, and this is the means to get it done. So it ain't me. It's the fire in me that make me push and go, and just make me jack up a lot of dough that I got put up, and about to jack up more money that I got put up. That either that or I'm crazy, but it's the fire.
Well, let me ask the other side of that, because you definitely need that fire. And as we push here, the ultimate resource is you. Sometimes we just need that little push. But let me ask the other side of that. In starting a business, has there been some challenges or setbacks, maybe of your control and some out of your control, that have tried to like lower the flame or slow you down? Because we know, especially with you selling wholesale goods and all these, I know there can be challenges in the area. Walmart is big here in the South, other entities. Were the challenges of your control or out of your control that kind of tried to slow you down, or was real challenging?
I say it's a couple of challenges. I share two with you, and I add just one more to that last question. The challenges is that a lot of the first thing that people think is this stuff hot and stove, and that is a challenge to get people to understand that it's easy to take advantage of an opportunity in America. You can't do what I'm doing, no place in the world. And to realize that there's so many opportunities out there for us. And we don't take advantage of it because of fear, what they said, rumors, skepticism, and fearism. That's the biggest challenge. I ain't scared at the end of the day, but it's the people coming in contact. We started off with a very small load when we started in the storage unit. So I should share pictures with you guys somewhere down the road. We got storage units full of stuff, lawnmowers, all type of tools, everything. So we bring people to the storage unit. Everybody say, where is this stuff coming from? Is it hot? Every time. So it's got. Then they want to. The other challenge is people don't think that they should expect to pay the price because we are small. Because we're a small business.
Mhm.
But when you come up in here, you're gonna pay the price. If I had to pay the price to go get it, you gonna pay. I'm gonna pass that price right on down. And that's just the business part. Two things people miss going into business: the ability to be shrewd and focus on the business. And the one thing that's more important than anything else, and I probably left it out in the first half, and I don't want to get people to misunderstand it, that it's just about the fight. I'm just a different breed on how I move and do business. But for a person that's really serious about it, if you're really serious about getting into business, put a plan together. Put a
Mm.
plan together, and that'll let you know how serious you are about business, if you can do business, and it gets you to begin to really realistically look at what it is that you want to do, that you want to do. If you want to do, like, to understand what your vision is, what your mission is, what your budget is, how much money you're gonna need for marketing, advertisement. All these type of things are very important as you begin to venture off into business. You know what I'm saying? What's your credit score? What's the difference between a business credit score or a personal credit score? A lot of times we don't know these things. Business is from 300 to 800. Personal is from 0 to 100. We don't know how to build these scores up. So it's so many things that go beyond the fire. But as you develop a business plan, it'll begin to allow you to get prepared to answer these questions and begin to know what's on the horizon. I did my business plan all in my head. I just put everything in my head. I guess I'm of the old school Malcolm X. Don't write, put it in your head. So I kind of do that, but you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. You
Yeah.
know, you can't be playing. You got to have a plan, and I think that's the ultimate rule or the thing that I think that you need if you are serious about quitting that job tomorrow or walking off or telling the boss what they can do.
And that's the thing. That's quality stuff. Cause that juicer looked amazing. Like
I got
mine, I
a
got a
robe
juice
over there
one feet
too.
like every 10 minutes. I gotta let mine rest. Mine's so cheap. I'm gonna have to get over there and give me a juice. But it's quality stuff. This ain't guys groovy grab bag, y'all.
Oh
It's
no,
fact. And look, and I get that because with small businesses, let's be real, black owned, right? We had those stigmas. You got to struggle through that sometimes, right? There's some stigmas that overlay with our businesses, right? Is it on the up and up? Is it so we got to overcome that? But as we wind down, I wanna ask this too, because I'm glad you mentioned that business plan, because I know usually people put the plan to get it together and then they kind of try to project maybe 3 to 5 years. And as an entrepreneur, you said something that's key. You said you put a lot of money up that you didn't see the return. And how does somebody who starts a business and may not see that in the first year, the second year, like, is there a certain time frame, like it in entrepreneur, where you start to expect to see a return? You just got to tough it out, or when is that line where you say, "Hey, maybe I need to do the next thing"? Like, how does that come about?
All right. Well, for me, the key for me is to grow the business. I think that so every dime that I make, I put back in the business. It's just
Okay.
like your baby. You gotta take care of it. You got to grow it. So for me, I put every dime back into the business, uh, where I don't make any money, but I make sure everybody is paid. I think
Okay.
that as an entrepreneur, you have to make sure that you take care of that dangling fruit or those hanging things. I will say that where I may be, so where I'm at on cash, I just give an example. On cash, yeah, I may be 250 out of pocket, but in terms of inventory, I'm rich.
Mm,
So in terms of
mm,
inventory, I may be 1.5 million in inventory.
wow.
So if I come out and I liquidate, I should probably be a million on top if I was to liquidate today. And it's
Okay.
just about making strategic moves as you move for business, but understanding that although if you have a vision and it's a passion, that's fine. But the first line of order is to make some money. That's why you in business is to make money. And I think when you understand clearly what that means, then that clears everything else out. I don't see making a solid profit at least for another 3 years maybe.
Mm,
But but to this day, I don't owe nobody nothing. Zero. So from a
okay.
business stand, not Dana Merck or a lot of people, but my business, Little Sam's, nobody. So so they looking for Dana Merck. They can't better Little Sam's. But from a business, and that's what it's understanding to business to understand how you operate as a business and how you operate as an individual is two totally different things, and you have to understand that. I think it's a good thing when you get a call from the bank and you don't deal with the bank. You just put money in the bank, and the bank call you and they say we want to give you some money. I have never
Mm,
had that happen in my life, but I've had
mm,
that happen 2 times. They want to
mm,
give me money. So and they're watching my transactions and they're
mm.
paying attention to all my stuff, and they're like, he has some cash flow coming through there, and we want some of his cash flow. So
Yeah.
I
And,
think
and oh, that's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead,
Brought up
go ahead.
because that's whoo, because that's another thing we kind of talk about, but we can get into becoming your own bank. But because a lot of people think, well, if I'm gonna start something, I need some capital to start and
Bring some
going to the going to the banks for loans, and we know there's a struggle with that. But how,
in the
just
black bag.
without relying on those banks,
Mm-hmm.
what like does that, well, of course it's gonna make you have to grind that much harder, but do you find that it was more of a struggle without utilizing bank loans versus your own? Did it take more time, or did you say, is it worth it? Right? Like,
It is. When I was, as you know, my parents taught me entrepreneurship is investment.
hmm,
And I think if you understand investment and how it works, and you make that a daily part of whatever you do, you can't lose. Like for example, like for example, I tell anybody, I do this type of stuff right here. That's what I invest in. That's gold.
okay.
So I know the bank ain't got this.
Mm,
So I invest in this. I invest in this type of stuff right here. And Brother McKee, know I used to invest in this stuff when we was together. But that's silver. I invest in that type of stuff.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
what
We
I
got,
in turn do, I'm my own bank.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm my own bank from that standpoint. So every day I know that I'm sitting on that stuff right there. And that's worth more than cash dollars. So I learned how to invest in that very young. I also invest in the stock market and stuff like that, and have other little investments and things around. And I just pick from a little bit from each pot, and then put it toward the opportunity. But you have to understand investment, and entrepreneurship is investing. This is me investing in myself.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? That's me invest. This is me. This is my contribution to the investment of myself. So I'm investing in myself. I'm going 100 in because it's on me. When this I may be 10% in on my precious metals, or I may be 15% in on stocks and bonds, or I may be 30% in on my real estate. But this here is an investment for me. Entrepreneur, I'm going all in, and my goal is, my goal is to have $5 million in 2 years, but no less than $5 million in 2 years. So that's,
okay.
the investment is yourself, and the vision is yourself. The investment that I have put up, it it puts me in a position of power when I go meet with people. And when I sit with people, I'm not groveling like please help me, sir. I don't have to do that, and I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I invest in things. I invest in all types of things. Because everything has a value to be sold. So I
Mm,
invest in it. You know what I'm saying? If I liquidate my house or my home, I got expensive art on my walls. That's an investment.
mm,
So I could sell that off, so I don't have to be homeless. So every move that you make as an individual and an entrepreneur should be an investment. You shouldn't
mm.
have anything that doesn't have a value. Everything should have an investment. So that if things get rough, you can always liquidate and free yourself.
No doubt. Because I got my eye on that Malcolm X behind you right
Oh
there.
yeah,
Don't
oh yeah,
my eye on it. Don't
yeah. I
sleep.
got
Don't
that
stop. But
47
let me,
No.
but back, you got something as why that I pass. I know I'm hogging the mic. I'm trying
No,
to soak
no.
up everything before I make my trip.
no,
I
I
got to
just
make
want to thank
a
you
trip.
for coming on.
Give me one of them nice juice.
I just want to thank you for coming on, and you got a great business there. I hear a master class out of you for entrepreneurs. That's just what came to me as you were talking, and I was taking notes. But when you do it, I hope you do it
Oh,
with us, and it'll be an exclusive crowd. But this is what we need to elevate as a community. I don't care what labels you call it. what other people are saying. The same tunnel vision you use to start this is what we have to have. We need this. So thank you for coming on. And yeah, I'll be calling you about that master class.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. Hey, you know, I'm at your service anytime. You one of the good ones, brother. You one of the good ones.
I appreciate that, brother. And thank you. Thank you.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, we ain't gonna hold you up as much. We can't give it all to him right now, but we hope in the future to have you back. We gonna support you. We know where you are now. I'm glad I got the chance to meet you. Heard much about you. Heard much about Little Sam's, and I joined on Facebook, so I will be in there because he got everything you need. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna check you out. And just any last thoughts or pardon words or some advice or words of wisdom you got before we
Uh,
sign out?
you can follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. Stop by. You don't even have to come by and buy nothing. That's why we're not there. Just come in and just come kick it with us. Just have a conversation. Come share some. Come ask a question. Uh, and just know that we're here as a community resource. There's a wealth of individuals there. Myself, my brother, my son. We're there every day. And there's a reservoir of knowledge and information sitting right there that's accessible for anybody in the community that want to come in and ask a question and utilize it.
No doubt. You can't find that.
Shout out to Marquise. Shout out to Marquise and
No
Most
doubt.
Terrence.
definitely.
You can't find that
Mm.
at Sam's Club or Walmart where you can talk and meet and engage with everybody. And as I said, it's a true resource. That's what we about. So Little Sam's, 1209 Greensboro Road, High Point, North Carolina, 27260. Lil Sam's, LILSAMS.com, and Lil Sam's Liquidation Wholesale on Facebook. So please support, check it out, share, like, share this video, get it out. We're going to keep flooding the airways so that y'all can go and support Brother Merck and Little Sam's Liquidation High Point. We appreciate you, Brother Merck, and we're gonna be in touch soon, and we're gonna pop in and chop it up.
Most definitely.
No
Appreciate
doubt.
you, fellas.
Be blessed, be blessed. And to everybody else, I just want y'all to make sure, don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Let me do it like that.